Hello everyone, Insane Frame here. If you're new here, welcome on in. If you're returning, good to have you back. Earlier this month I did an NCR Trooper video run in New Vegas, so it's only fair we give the Legion a shot. The Legion are inspired by the Roman Empire and the world of Fallout, and we are going to be joining their ranks today to see what we're made of. So, today we ask the question, can you beat Fallout New Vegas as a Legionary? Now I did the NCR video, so it's only fair the Legion get a fair shot. So we're gonna have to play as a villain, I guess. Not my sort of playstyle, but the Legion is commanded by Caesar, or as the game likes to say, Kaiser, and we are direct enemies with the NCR. The end boss will be General Oliver, but we will be going about all the Legion quests and making sure the NCR suffer. Our equipment this run will be Legion-themed armour, and as for weapons, this is totally up in the air. We could use a lot of weapons as the Legion assassination squads are armed to the teeth. So we'll be rocking a machete, and there are two types of machete, the regular one and the Gladius machete. Both will be okay to use, so we can get a hold of one fairly easily, but we won't be allowed any NCR quests or services. We are strictly a Legionary, so with the theme set, let's quickly go over the rules. We may only use armour issued by the Legion and a machete. No NCR quests or services will be allowed. No glitter exploits, and we're going to be playing on very hard difficulty with hardcore enabled. So, with the playthrough set up, let's get started, guys. We start in Doc Mitchell's place and he patches up, so we decide our name right out the box. So we go ahead and select Jason. I'm sure all of you know that reference as Halloween is coming, so with our name sorted, it's time to select special stats. Now I feel a high level of endurance is important as well as a good amount of strength. We also won't be using VATs all that much, but some perks need agility and we can go for luck damage as well. Crits won't be too important, but it is very nice to have in New Vegas. Doc Mitchell interviews us, and anyone new here, just know all these numbers on the screen right now make up our character skill. Just know that the higher the number, the better. We will be selecting survival, melee and repair, raising the respective skills by 15 points. 100 is best and 15 is quite a lot, especially early level. Lastly, we have traits, and these are perks that help you out but come at a trade-off. There is one here that will help a lot, and that is heavy-handed. It allows us to do more base damage, so just ups our damage at the cost of less critical hits. Very, very good indeed. We activate hardcore mode as we leave Doc Mitchell's place, and now we begin. An important note is I did dump all my starting items in Doc Mitchell's house, as seen in our Pip-Boy here, and that means we need weapons and armour. Lucky for us, there is a machete in a nearby shack near a memorial, so we have 5 minutes and we're already armed with our weapon of choice. Lovely. After killing some powder gangers, we go and kill some big horners by backing up and slicing and dicing, then making sure we destroy them, granting us some resources and food. As in survival, you need to eat and drink, otherwise you get penalties to your stats. We also get some much needed XP and manage to level up. We decide to get some skill points across the board, and as for our perk, we go for intense training and add a point into endurance, giving us 10 endurance. So now we will get max hit points when we level up, letting us last longer in fights. We still don't have any armour as we can't use anything other than Legion armour, so it's time to fix that. After travelling to Nipton, there is a Legion presence here, and in one of the ash piles, there is some Legion recruit armour, so we now have our armour along with another machete. Get used to these because we are going to be a machete king, allowing our repair skill to be used even later on. After we talk to the Legion in the area, we managed to get through some Viper gang members. However, these guys kill us several times over. They are an absolute pain in the bum. It's not going well for us, and NCR are also in the area, and you guessed it, they kill us as well. So we sneak on into Nipton to heal our wounds, and then when I kill some ants for some XP, our machete breaks. This is not good, so I run away to stop dying again, but we do level up as a saving grace, so we get melee weapons and repair skill as machetes break really easily. We go back to Goodsprings and there are no machetes for sale and there are no repairers. However, I then remember the trade route, so we take our armour off as they all become hostile if we wear it, and we approach Samuel, who sells food, and for whatever reason he also repairs weapons, so I go ahead and hand him my cash, and he has saved our run as we can now trade our ill-gotten gains and repair our gear, so we are good to go. We avoid many NCR patrols and we need to get to Freeside, but we manage to get there without too much trouble. Then we get really lucky as a free-side mongrel tries to attack us, but the Kings have our back and we finish them off and manage to loot a second machete. This time I'll keep this and not repair our first, so we can have multiple machetes on us. And then we get a second machete, so we have a total of 3 now, and we know where to pick up our supply of machetes. So I guess go to Freeside and clean up the crime, and we return to Prim near Goodsprings and kill geckos for a level up. I decide to go all in on melee to up our damage and make our machetes last longer. Also for our perk, we go with Confirmed Bachelor, so we do plus 10% damage against male opponents. Since we're against the NCR, it's kind of a good perk to have. We test our new perk out in Prim, as the NCR are not too happy to see us dressed as a Legionary, but when we get through they are dealt with, and it takes a lot of durability from our machetes. But since we have 3 of them, it's not too bad. But we deal with the first guy, and the second guy is tougher, but he also takes the bullet as well. When we manage to get through, we begin clearing out the hotel for some easy XP from all the ruffians to try and get some caps whilst we're at it. And once we storm through room by room, we're doing okay and only break 2 machetes, so we're done and dusted here, and we decide to take our armour off at the NCR outpost and inform them of the ill news in Nipton to shake their morale. Exactly as planned by the Legion. Foolish NCR. We level up from our devious deeds, and I decide to go all in on repair. These machetes are breaking all the time, so being able to repair them on the go would be lovely, but we still need more experience to get more powerful, and I decide to go to Novak and help Manny out. He wants us to clear some ghouls in the old rocket facility, so we decide to go ahead and do so. Upon walking there, the road to the facility is filled with ghouls. We cut them down without too much trouble and manage to get inside, and we actually get some really good loot and sell it off. But the experience we gain here is good, and as for the ghouls here, some of them are pretty intelligent, but they are not for Caesar, so we decide to do our duty and wipe them out in their entirety, as they are not part of the Legion, and I will admit I kind of feel bad doing this. When it's done, we report back to Manny and decide to kill more Viper Gangers, since they give us plenty of caps as we loot them, and they give good XP as well, so it's not half bad to level up. It goes so well actually that we level up again, and I put all of our points into repair and decide to get our first rank of toughness up in our armour by +3, so we can endure more damage, which is very important for us. We eventually get to the Legion camp at Cottonwood Cove, and we get approached and say we're friends, so they allow us to wander around aimlessly, as we also find another machete, letting us fight for longer, which is marvellous. A side note is we can get dog tags from the NCR and trade them. We will get paid 10 caps each for them. As well, there's some special armour we want whilst being Legion issued, so we go to the New Vegas clinic and start taking out NCR soldiers. It's actually pretty difficult. We can comfortably take 2 NCR soldiers down just barely, but 3 is a stretch and really takes a toll on our equipment and resources. But the loot we get does cover the costs, and we manage to get the dog tags easily enough. We decide to go to Camp Searchlight, and some Legionaries attack, so we take advantage and start going nuts on the NCR. The Legionaries did a good job, but my word, this took a lot to do, and we do get a lot of dog tags for our troubles. And when some NCR reinforcements shows up, it was to the wire, and we pull through just about, but we do level up, and I go for some bartering for an important thing that will make things easier. We also grab an absolute powerhouse of a perk that makes melee builds broken. We get Super Slam, so we have a 15% chance on every attack with a one-handed weapon, or a 30% chance with a two-handed weapon, which doesn't really apply this run, to stun our opponents. Very broken, very good, very powerful. Love to see it. When we go to Cottonwood Cove, Aurelius Phoenix does not have the barter option that I thought he did, so instead I pickpocket his machete, a upgraded version of ours, a Gladius machete. We're still allowed to use this as certain Legion officers carry them, but this is as good as it's going to get for us. For our weapon, I can't wait to use it, but still, it does sort of haunt me that this is going to be the absolute peak of our damage. But we're better than we were, so we go on out to the New Vegas Strip and start hacking away at the sentry bots, as they are hostile to Legion forces apparently. And when they're out, we do the complimentary slaying of the Tops Casino. And I have to say, the Gladius Machete is actually pretty good. My actual nightmare of this not being a good weapon, boy was I wrong. This thing is really good, especially against an armoured target. We chop through the chaos and managed to take a lot of them out. They really do get the harsh end of these challenges, these people in the Tops Casinos. But such is the way of life. Anywho, we replenish our health at the fountain and we level up. I go all in on repair and melee weapons to let us do more damage and take our gladius in. And we clean up and we also get up to Benny, and he is not amused we're alive. But he seems confused, so we slice the crap out of him and we are a gentleman and let him get up, only to put him in the naughty corner. Shame on you, Benny. You shot us in the head, so you get the most humiliating death. Anyway, we level up and we decide we get more repair and more melee skill, so we can deal more damage and also repair our gear easier. We also get our perk Toughness, rank 2, so we gain an additional +3 armour, permanently making our total of +6 from this perk. We exit from the Tops casinos and get what we've been waiting for. The Legion approach us, and I accept this without a second thought. And we also net another kill. And then the strip just gets more and more NCR kills. I kind of feel bad doing this, but we have to because we're part of the Legion. And to prove it, we've even gained the Hacker perk for hacking people's limbs slightly faster. We also gained the Lord of Death perk for some extra damage. And I just can't feel but bad for these guys. I'm sorry, NCR. I really am rooting for you, but this playthrough we have to play the bad guy. I'm sorry. We storm the NCR's operational base on the New Vegas Strip and make sure they can't operate anymore, as they are the enemy, and well, it kind of had to be this way after all. And we slaughter them all, and we are now branded as a villain towards them, which I guess is apt. But we decide to go start causing chaos at Mr. House's casino and slay more of his minions to get this out the way. We use the presidential suite to heal up from the sink and just keep slaughtering his guards. It's actually not too bad. And when we get through it, we come face to face. No words, no nothing. He's taken out with a few simple hacks to the face. Good time. We level up and go for max repair skill. We are awesome at repairing now. We are pretty good at melee with a pretty good weapon. So next up, we need to get our armour. So we visit the New Vegas clinic and decide to get the subdermal implant as seen here. We then get to the Legion's base via Cottonwood Cove, and we make sure to disarm, as these people are the faction we wish to serve. When we enter the camp, there's an arena and we decide to start fighting because it's fun. And we kill every single person in the arena with no remorse, no pity. So with that done, we decide to go see Caesar. He's impressed and correcting what he says. We have a common enemy and we have to teach Mr. House tech some manners. So we're tasked with going in and facing some robots. We start facing protectrons and turrets. The turrets actually really hurt, and they actually kill us several times. This keeps going on until I just charge in and destroy the turret. Once that's all done and all the protectrons are cleared up, we then go ahead and make the bunker start exploding by destroying the capacitors. It is quite a scenic thing, and the atmosphere here is definitely chaotic. However, once all is said and done, we decide to go ahead and go back to Kaiser. We get enough XP where we level up and we snag a perk that does heavy damage for an opponent's block. Very handy for us. However, our next mission is we have to go to the boomers and we avoid the artillery bombardment. As I've done this so many times, we get to the gate, we're all good. However, after a quail decides to escort us, it's her last mistake, as Pearl has the nerve not to offer us a cup of tea. How dare she? So she has to die along with every single boomer because they do not drink tea, ladies and gentlemen. This shall not stand, so we destroy them in their entirety. As a British YouTuber who loves the taste of Yorkshire tea, this is unforgivable. Anyway, after we kill every last boomer, literally every single one of them, we level up and we max out our melee skill along with some survival skill. We report back to Caesar and he says to establish an alliance with the White Glove Society, and he then has a headache and goes and lies down, leaving us to carry out his orders, so we go ahead and do it. Since the White Glove Society are very refined, arguably the most refined on the New Vegas Strip, we ask if they wish to join us. They refuse, and we asked another one of their leaders. They also refuse. We're kind of out of options since we are garbage at speech skill, and since we're a villain, we start doing what we do best. We do a lot of slicing and dicing in the White Glove Society. After all, they are no stranger to it, and they know what human flesh tastes like, so yeah, but they would rather bludgeon us and tenderize our flesh, so we show them what a cybernetically modified product of the Legion can do. The hardest part is this room, where everyone is trying to kill us, so I treat it like a mini boss battle and use reverse pack tactics. Anyone who strays off the path of the angry mob gets cut down. It actually works. It works very well because we target the White Glove members and slice them down, so the main rabble are gradually whittled down. Super Slam is really helping us out here and is definitely the MVP. But when we thin them out and hand them all like the champ we are, we level up. I go all in on survival and it's getting there. Our food items are healing us pretty decently. As for our perk, we get arguably the most useful perk in my opinion this run, which is jury rigging. So we can now use items that have similar properties to repair other items. An example is metal armor can now repair power armor rather than using another piece of valuable power armor. Extremely useful. We go terrorize the NCR some more, and when we're done, we report back to Caesar, and he spaces out. But we have wiped out an enemy, and then he tasks us with taking out a Brotherhood bunker. I can't see this happening through brute force, so we'll have to be smart and go covert. So we invade the bunker on purpose, only to get captured, and when we do, we meet Elder Maxon. Just kidding everyone, I mean Elder McNamara. And we are sent to deal with the Ranger. We know Rangers, they need to report to a commanding officer in the NCR, so we smash their radio, meaning they can't report in. So it's not foolproof, but we are a Legion member, so it actually looks the part. And we report on back, and Elder McNamara lets us have free reign on the base. The absolute fool. He will be undone. Ad Victorian Elder. We managed to get all the key cards by pickpocketing most of them, and we also used the self-destruct terminal to allow us to destroy everyone. We then run like hell and get shot, but mind our manners upon our exit, and we make the bunker explode, completing our mission. That was quite easy actually, and upon our return we talk to Caesar and we level up. We decide to go all in survival yet again so we can have our food items heal us some more. Caesar then says we need to help his medical condition. He doesn't want anyone knowing and it's a private affair, and we aren't a doctor, so we are shoehorned into using his auto doc. So with that in mind, we have our next task. Before I go any further however, I do decide to grind some levels in order to deal with General Oliver and his men at the end of the run, since it will hurt us a lot, and preparation is always a good thing to do in these runs. So first things first, we kill a prime legionary in one hit with a sneak attack. Don't worry, the other guys don't know what we're doing and no one saw us do it. So we decide to nick his armor and we now have prime legionary armor, a huge step up for us. We decide to waste more of the NCR, and it feels bad as I do root for the NCR in my playthroughs, but this playthrough, I really do feel like a pantomime villain, and it really is coming out. And well, unlike any other playthrough, I actually saved the Great Khans. A first on this channel, I must admit, but there you go, a first time for everything. We take to the south of Prim and kill wildlife. Good experience, and we also level up. We get our survival to 100, and also, because we are level 16, we get a perk. I decide to go ahead and get adamantium skeleton, so our limbs have 50% more damage resistance to all damage. Really important for higher levels. We're going to need more levels, but we're almost there. There's one more perk that will help massively. Whilst we're at it, we buy a lot of implants to up our special stats, including the agility implant. Very important, that little implant there. And after a while, we farm and get to level 18. We put all of our points into medicine, so our stim packs will heal for more. And we decide to go for intense training to get +1 perception. Very, very good. We go through the old vault and there's many ghouls. Our Super Slam is the MVP here, as we can quickly stun the ghouls and slice them up. And once they're wiped out, we continue until we see the auto dock we're after. We salvage the parts and we're good to go, and stabby more ghouls on our way out. We return and Caesar's second in command at his tent is giving us orders and wants us to get a firing mechanism. Lucky for us, we already have one, and when we're on our slaughter at the Boomer's base, we decide to get into a scrap with Law, and one of the lockers had the firing mechanism in. But we need to get Caesar up and running, so we go to his auto dock, install the necessary parts. However, we want the Legion at full strength and full brutality, and Caesar is clearly weak, so we decide to use the auto dock to kill him. When he's dead, we pass a medicine check and we're cleared of any hostilities. So now Legate Lanius is in charge, a much more suitable replacement for him and much more of a leader than Caesar. We decide to strip Caesar and throw him on a brazier, let him burn, just like the Burning Man, and no one will be the wiser once the evidence is burnt up. After our interaction, we decide to grind another level on the wildlife, and level 19 is reached thanks to some rad scorpions. We go all in on medicine once again, and we meet up with our contact for the next mission. We decide to go in and disguise ourselves as an NCR trooper since it's part of the mission. I think it's okay as we are fooling the NCR after all. However, literally as the vertebrate touches down when talking to our friend, I decide to go up to the vertebrate and I'm trying to sneak kill this guy, but he turns hostile. I go to the vertebrate and before I can even get to it, I fail the mission. What a nice surprise. So rather than go back empty-handed, we kill as many NCRs as we can, and I pretty much kill anyone that comes into my sight. I get my hands on many NCR, and the NCR have lost some good men here today. We return, the Legion is not impressed, but we get the final battle. We get the prompt, and I have to say I'm not quite ready. We are going to need some more levels, but we do level up, and I go all in on medicine and up my perception thanks to intense training. We have a total of 6 now. We need a couple more levels, so off to grinding. I repeat this until we hit level 22. This allows us to get the most important perk when we're invading General Oliver's bunker, Light Step. This perk is amazing for us for the final part of taking down General Oliver, and why I've spent 6 levels trying to get it. So now we're ready. We spawn in the Legate camp. I'm kind of not used to this. I feel like a fish out of water, but we speak to Legate Lanius. He's a very intimidating guy. He wants us to kill General Oliver, so that's what we got to do, and he's kind of intimidating, so let's not annoy him. We see the camp, and legionnaires like us are preparing to attack, and we join them on storming the bridge. We go along the bridge. The first part isn't too bad. It's got some resistance, but it does allow us to cross it thanks to the forces around. We all pitch in and it's not too bad. The second half, however, has towers, snipers, and a lot of the NCR blocking the road. We have to be careful, but after a couple of attempts, we managed to close the gap and start making them pay for... I'm not actually sure what they've done wrong. They're just doing their job, but they've done something. So we take out the snipers, get the roadblock, and then we start storming the power plant. And this is honestly the easiest part, as we can just charge on through. Then we get General Oliver's compound, and this is where things get interesting. He says his bit, and the fight is on. To start with, we have several troopers come out to greet us. They get what you'd expect and get sliced and diced, and we go up the stairs and recover. We drop down and go in a hallway and round the corner, and all the NCR troopers we could ever give a high five to are cut down, as we are their enemy. But you fought well, guys. But I've got a general to catch, and then we come to my least favourite part in New Vegas, and why I've got Lightstep. You have a veteran ranger with an anti-material rifle along one side of the room. You have to take cover and follow a specific route to avoid triggering the traps in the area. However, due to Lightstep, we can ignore the traps and just run up to the veteran ranger and take him out. He can one-shot us if he headshots us, and he does this many times, more than I'd like to admit. However, I noticed his buddy comes running from the left, so when Super Slam procs, we can just mindlessly swing at him until he's out of the picture, and it works out beautifully. The game even knows this part is insanely hard, so it gives you 10 Super Stim packs. I'm not even making this up, but we really don't need them, but it couldn't hurt to have them. So now for the annoying guy. Since we have Lightfoot, we can run at him no problem. The hardest part is keeping him down, as when he gets up, he can shoot us. And if he's lucky, he can one-shot us. So we wait for the right moment and pounce on him. We even have to fix our weapon mid-fight, because that's how long it takes to slash these guys down. Their armour is very high, but when he bites the bullet, we loot him, and the hardest part is done. General Oliver doesn't know what we got in store for him, so we go upstairs and see General Oliver spawn with a litany of bodyguards. We can't take them in a straight up fight, no matter how you try it, but we can level the playing field a little. We go knocking on General Oliver's door and decide to rough up one of the guards and then run downstairs to the trap room. This makes short work of some of the enemies. General Oliver didn't think his traps could be used against him, but here we are, and I've got to say they are very effective. Super effective, one could say. And when their numbers are thinned out, we take care of the heavy troopers one by one until we see General Oliver and we super slam him. And rather than let him get up, I do the unthinkable. I do not let him get up. I cast my manners aside and I kick a man whilst he's down and end General Oliver. We completed our mission and his retinue of guards are dead, so we report back to Legate Lanius answering the question, can you beat Fallout New Vegas as a legionary? And yes, yes you can, and dearie me, what has become of me, New Vegas? Well, I have to say that run wasn't the standard one I'd go for, but hey, sometimes we have to take a walk on the wild side, but the Legion really isn't for me. I'm more of an NCR guy. However, it was very difficult to begin, and when we got the Gladius machete, that really marked a power up for us. And then Jury Rig let us use kitchen knives to repair our Gladius, just letting us pile up the caps. And the Prime Legionary armour, I'll admit it wasn't great, but our weapon held true, and being a tanky guy with high endurance, well, that saw us through. It was the final nail in the coffin for this challenge, really, and we did it. Next challenge is going to be a easy one. I have a trip planned, and I'm going to be doing Fallout 4 with a Chinese officer sword. And after that challenge, I think I'm going to up the difficulty of these challenges, like Lonesome Road at level 1, doing Fallout 4 with only Pain Train and some power armor, etc. So stay tuned for that. And like always, comment down below and subscribe, all that good stuff. Like the video. I've been Insane Frame. Hope you enjoyed the video and like what you saw. Have a very pleasant day, ladies and gentlemen. You are absolutely fantastic. And please have an absolutely amazing night. Enjoy the rest of your day. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you for watching the video. This is Insane Frame, signing off.